The benefit that I've seen in my poetry is kind of an openness to going different directions.
But actually take it as, like, if I'm going to create a product, creation that interacts with people that other than myself, right, or myself. So it's not just personal journaling, but it's a thing that interacts with others. I need to be able to engage with it as a thing that engages with others.
I expected it and wanted to have people give me strong critiques.
The way in which this group has most profoundly affected me as a poet and a person is the act of bringing my poetry consistently in front of other people has been kind of a revelation in a lot of ways. Engaging in the community that way, creating the community has felt really important on a personal level. To have that group of people who I am active with has been really important to me. And the benefit that I've seen in my poetry is kind of an openness to going different directions. I think I tend to write in open form, follow my consciousness wherever it leads, and engaging in this group is a way to build my consciousness up, my poetic consciousness up within myself and within the place in the community that I'm in. And that feels really essential to the work of being a poet.
Yes, the question is, how did it affect my poetry? How did it affect me, participation in this group? And it affected my poetry when you asked the question. The word that came to my mind was surprise, because the poems that I thought were pretty good, they just fell flat with the group. And there was some really good, honest feedback. And the poems that I thought were sort of lackluster and I really sort of needed I needed some help with and movement on, polishing with. But they really resonated with the group. And so it was interesting for me, it was surprising to me to see what of my creations was resonating, and then to lean into that and ask myself why, and have a group to explore that with, which I guess leads into the observation of how it affected me personally, was that at the beginning, for the first several meetings, it was actually really difficult to go through that process, because nobody was cruel or anything. Everybody was very supportive. But even if the commentary or the responses weren't glowing, then it really was difficult for me. It was surprising. So I needed to spend the first several meetings actually just getting used to that. And then once we developed this really trusting relationship, this group together, and also so maybe building up the ego strength. I don't know, but. Eventually I was able to hear that criticism and not as personally wounding, but actually take it as, like, if I'm going to create a product, creation that interacts with people that other than myself, right, or myself. So it's not just personal journaling, but it's a thing that interacts with others. I need to be able to engage with it as a thing that engages with others. And that was
coming. I can't paint anymore. And I've been a painter since I was 8 years old. However, I have always loved writing poetry as much as I have painting. And I've been writing poetry since the 80s. I've got a stack of them. And I know, being a painter, that you build on your craft. and you learn to improve your craft. And that was something I wanted to do in another creative field because I can still type, okay? Even though my tremor stops me from painting. And I'm done with that. I enjoy the fray. I expected it and wanted to have people give me strong critiques. And I'm a tough old bird. It didn't hurt me at all. I needed it and I knew it. And I feel such joy in the fact that at 82, I have new friends. And it's a pretty rare thing when you get older to make new friends in the arts. This has been such a revelation.
I didn't think I was going to be able to be a facilitator of any group. I think the thing is to interfere as little as possible other people's ideas, creativity, the manner in which they do things, and learn from them why they do it that way, and why sometimes it's better in my own way. And I think the more people we come in contact with, the more possibility of new learning. The more groups of this we form, the more we, like a raindrop that fills up the lake. I mean, not a single drop fills up the lake, but many raindrops fill up the lake. And I think this is how ideas spread, and I think this is to get the general literary readiness of the country, of the world, improved at another level. I think this is a way to get inside ourselves, to learn the irrational forces that drive us, as well as the rational excuses we give ourselves, and try to improve ourselves and our community, which in turn will improve the world.